Hello, everybody. So tonight, um, a few days back, I did a market test. Well, I have these colored crayons, and they're actually Crayola, but they're supposed to be the better ones. So I just want to test them to see how they cover. Um, there's 24. I don't know why. I thought I made 4 lines of 6, and obviously I'm in football mode, so I made 7. So my bad. Anyway, I'm just gonna color these boxes in and try to do them as dark as I can. And that's it. So right away, the very first box, let me see, we're gonna start over here. Yeah. This is golden yellow. And wow, I made these boxes pretty big. Yeah, that was pretty bright of me, right? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is initially when you color with pencils, color pencil, what happens is the darker and more coverage you want, you could keep coloring over and over it. And it gives like this waxy or wax film. But I'm not going to do that. That what these boxes, I only had a few hours that I did this. I could fix this issue, but of course not. I'm super prepared. I'll tell you one thing. I was thinking about maybe a story I could talk about, right? And it occurred to me I could tell you a story about how I was fired. Well, they say laid off. It's really fired. That's a legal term, so they covered you were laid off. But I was fired for doing my job too good. And I know that sounds really, really cocky. It really does, but I promise you that's not what it's about. So this is golden yellow. Next up is tan. Tan, like go to the beach, you get tan. All right, so what I was telling you was tell you the story of how I was fired for doing my job too well. And for legal purposes, I'm not going to mention the company name, but one thing I can tell you folks, we are getting to know each other online. One thing I can promise you is I am not a liar. I don't, these stories I tell you, that they're true. They're absolutely true. So that makes them that much more wild. But all right, I already told you how I became an IT, like a computer person. I already told you how that happened from mailroom, blah blah blah, right? Well, that company eventually had layoffs. So this is not the company I'm talking about. Like that was too good that they fired me. I was laid off from that initial company I worked for. They were an underwriting company. I'll say that. And I was unemployed for maybe 30 days. I was lucky. I got a contracting job. Some headhunter called me and said, and this is in 1998 to 99. He said he has a job for me with a stock trading company. Um, and the rate is $99 an hour. And it's a 1099, you pay your own taxes. But if he was offering me 99, he was probably getting 150 an hour just for me. But anyway, so in 1998, 99, getting paid $100 an hour. Even right now, $100 was good. So I went for the interviews and I got the job, right? And it was tan. Next one is blue, regular blue. So I got the job. They said they were on a hiring freeze. They were only hiring contractors. Maybe in 6 months, if I'm still there, maybe they can. Blah blah blah. Well, they like my work, I guess, or whatever. In a little more than a month, they hired me permanently. And so that was pretty awesome, right? So basically, I was working in support on a trade desk, a stock trade desk, right? I think we had 150 stockbrokers. Each each person had at minimum two computers, and each computer had four screens. So each broker had 8 monitors. Right? So I'm just giving you a little background, so you know. And this company, these these traders like traders, the broker. Um, and I know I may not be using the correct term, but you know what I mean. I hope. But anyway, these guys and gals each had a minimum two machines, four monitors on each machine, eight. So, you know, I it was a challenging job. As a matter of fact, I got so many free dinners and Broadway play tickets because I think every other day stockbroker would curse me and my mother out like that because God forbid their system just froze up a little bit for 20 seconds. Well, actually, for nothing, 20 seconds could cost them millions and millions of dollars. So, of course, it was never something's fault. It was always the IT guy's fault. So, I got a lot of free lunches, Broadway tickets, and everything because, you know, and I never had to ask for anything. They would just come in the next day and say, "Well, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that, this and that." I'll be honest with you. I was mad. I knew what they were saying was because they were losing money. I was just mad, like, dinner and a Broadway ticket? You guys make millions of dollars a year. Give me some money, man. Anyhow, next color is yellow green. I'm going to speed up the coloring because I've got a lot of coloring to do. Anyway, so you're gonna laugh at this, but I think it's probably gonna tick you off too when you see what happened to me. So this company, they they had a few proprietary applications that they built, and one they built was, how can I explain it? I can't say the name because then you'll know the name of the company. It was a market data application, so basically real time quotes, all that stuff, and their parent company is the one that built it. So they actually had to pay for licenses themselves to use the software. It wasn't like, oh, we own this company, we're going to let them use it for free. Nope. The parent company charged them full price for it. And this program was so difficult to maintain everything. And on the trade desk that I worked, there was an IT director that didn't know anything. I'm being honest with you. I'm not saying it. I don't have no hard feelings. This happened in two. I'm sorry. This happened in the early. Like, matter of fact, this happened a couple months after 9/11 that I got let go. So I have no hard feelings towards me. But the director, you've seen those people before that they're in high management positions, and they have no idea. It's probably because a brother-in-law got them the job or something like that. That's what happened here. And the manager, he, the manager of the trade desk, like at the IT, he, as a matter of fact, I'll just say it this way. So the trade desk, our group was called T, like Tom, Desk Support, T Desk, right? So the manager of T Desk Support, we'll just give him my name is Steve. Okay. Actually, that's his real first name. I'm going to say it, but I'll make it easier. So, and if Steve hears this, He knows exactly who I am. All right, this was yellow green. Next up is peach. So peachy, right? And here's the crazy thing: I'm looking on the monitor. I know that looks like I believe it looks different to me here in person. Anyway, peach. So Steve, he knew some IT stuff, but I'm just gonna say straight out, he couldn't hold a candle to me. He just couldn't. And it's not his fault. It's just that in those 7 years prior, when I told you I first started working in computers, when I knew nothing, I excelled fast. Look, I told you I lost a relationship over it. A woman broke up with me because she said I loved the computer more than I did her. And to be honest with you, I think she was right. Um, but anyhow, oh, I'll lower my voice. I'm sorry if I'm talking loud. I'll try to add that. Let me do that. I'm gonna give one of you guys my phone number so you could text me and say, got it. Only we were live. Anyway, so Steve was leery of me when they first hired me as a consultant. But when he seen my work output and my knowledge, and not only just knowledge, the willing to learn and learning, I heard he was the one that said we need to hire him. And they said that guy never says that about anybody. So anyway, so Steve did the right thing then. Remember, this is Peach. Can't see that, right? No, it's backwards. Who cares? You'll trust me. So, where was I? Because I talk so much. All right, so I told you there was a bunch of proprietary programs, but there was this one market data one in particular. Right? Um, we'll just call it market data. That's the app, right? So the market data app. I would ask them because I noticed when I would provide support on the floor, like I seen the bills for this program, the in licenses we paid every month, and I only seen like maybe two the brokers, the stock traders using it. And that was strange to me because our company was paying, I think it was 189,000 a month. Yeah, it was insane, right? This next color is sky blue, right? So 100, whatever. So, you know what I just thought about? When I told you 6 boxes and I did 7, why didn't I just cut this off? Get it? Idiot. Anyway, so this market data program, it was explained to me that the person that created it and the support team that supported it all left because they created some old application or something. They quit together. So the guys that are still using it's because nothing went wrong. But anytime it crashed, there was nobody that knew how to fix it. And I said, well, didn't they leave like a run book in the IT department? When the IT, well, a run book is like kind of like a manual, a day-to-day operations of IT. So it has everything. Right? It's like a IT instruction book. And they said no. Well, that fell on the manager because he was supposed to make sure they did and direct, and they didn't. So they dropped the ball there, especially when you're paying nearly $200,000 a month in license fees. So anyway, they told me nobody knows how to maintain it. Nobody knows really anything about it. I said, are they getting rid of it? They said no. They didn't even tell corporate what was going on because they knew they had. So when they volunteered and said, can I take it on? And they said, are you sure, man? Because this and they said, go ahead, just don't let it affect your day-to-day work. I said, no, no, no. I'll make sure I don't obsess over it. Well, that wasn't true because I became very obsessed with it. Let me just get this little side right here. Sorry. I became very obsessed with it. But my product was still there. So anyhow, I start messing with market data and I start figuring things out. I get the names of the guys that created it. I talk them into sending me a couple of documents. The next color is yellow orange. Yellow orange. Right? So these guys sent me. It wasn't too helpful, but it was a start. Let me just speed this up a bit because we don't want to make it. So one thing leads to another. And within 6 months, not only did I become the go-to person for this program to support it, I found in the system so many duplicate licenses. Basically, they were paying an additional $750,000 a year on licenses that weren't being used. So I brought this up, and they're like, "No way." So I told the manager, Steve, and oh, that's awesome. Send me an email, tell me what you found, give me a whole report. I did that. Well, time goes by, I'm like, man, not even like they curse my mother out, the brokers, and I get all these tickets and everything. I don't even hear anything from the big guys and everything. Turns out Steve went and said, right in front of corporate and said, look what I found, look what I did. Meaning he, not me. Right? Yeah, exactly. I'm sure people out there experience this somehow, some way. So eventually one of the guys that was related to the IT director on the team, he was mad about it too. And he actually put the truth out there and it came out and the manager Steve started doing things spitefully like, you know, certain things I was getting blamed for, giving me the bad systems, giving me the real crappy jobs. I had to work overnight a bunch of times. He was just, you know what I mean, right? So, all right. The next color is jade green. I love jade green. We're getting there because we got 7, 14, 21. We got to go to here. So I'm going to really speed this up. I made a promise. So I find that out. And I let Steve know. I wasn't like nasty or nothing. But that's when he started, retaliating against me when I called him out. So what we used to do, I don't know how it is now because I don't live in corporate, like I run my own business, but so it was always the weekly meetings, and I mean with the big guys of the company, and Steve would be in that meeting all the time. And Steve got into a habit of bringing me with him. And I noticed a pattern with Steve when we would do the round table and one's asking about over-the-counter trades and asking about NASDAQ and all this stuff. When they got around, they would say, okay, Steve, Mr. Steve Blank, right, from T-Desk, what's going on? Finding, we heard such, no, they would just do that. And he's supposed to report to them or answer any questions they had. He would report to them, but every time they asked him a question, he would go run, like act like natural, say run. Can you tell me it was going on? So look, I don't want to mess things up, and he would just play it off. He didn't know, so I would do that, right? So now, well, my little revenge cost me my job, but so what happens is that was Jade Green. Now, let me just straighten this out. And I'm sorry about dropping the pencil. I don't know how loud that came through. If I startled anybody, I'm truly, truly sorry. I really don't mean to do that. Okay, the next color up is red orange. I gotta do these edges first. You know what I'm gonna do, if you don't mind? I'm gonna bang out the edges every time I do a box by turning this, so I can go through it quicker. Alright, so now this was happening before, like while I was still working on the market data program. I didn't make the discovery just yet and all that. I'm still, go to these meetings. It was every Monday morning. And these meetings will go on for hours. And the two people that two departments that got the most questions was our department got the most questions, and there was a one, I forgot what it was. Oh, but anyway, it doesn't matter what that was. We got the most questions, and I used to answer everything. As a matter of fact, at one point, they started saying, instead of just saying Mrs. Steve, they would say Mrs. Steve and Mr. Ron. What's going on? Because they knew I was answering everything. Well, after this market data thing, I found 750,000 in duplicate licenses that saved them that money, and I was able to get them reimbursement from the parent company for the past 2 years. So I got them back $2.25 million and saved them that 750,000 going forward. That's pretty significant. Okay. Well, you already know what happened. He took credit for it, blah, blah, blah. I called him out on it. He was mad. Well, anyway, this happened naturally. I didn't have a plan. So now there was some serious stuff going on, right? That there was in the trade world, stock trading world. This, I think almost every trader knows this. This was red orange. There's things called DK, like Donald Kitten, right? I use Donald, right? Donald Kitten, DK, and that stands for don't know. I should have just used that, jerk. The next color is the very bright, gloomy gray. This is gray. So, the the COO, oh no, the CFO and the CEO. Okay, Chief Operating. As a matter of fact, the CEO, the COO, and the CFO, Chief Executive Officer, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Financial Officer. They were all in attendance this time because the prior Friday to that month, the Friday prior to that Monday meeting, something happened and a bunch of DKs came up in the system. And basically, what that means is, wow, we're blind in the system and we're losing millions per second. And it was our job, the TDES support, to call NASDAQ and pull our name out of the system, out of the stock on the ticker, right? And that's a big thing because every minute you're out of the market, you're losing millions. But if you don't pull your boat out of the market, you are literally losing millions and paying that out, right? So, anyway, I know it's confusing. I don't mean to do that, but anyway, it was something like that. Okay. So DKs came up on the prior on that Friday. And now they want to head to roll, and they're asking us questions, asking everybody questions. Then they get to us, and they're like, Mr. Steve. And that's at the time when Mr. Steve would say, okay, as you know, Ron Nathan and blah, 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 and he's going to defer. When they were just finishing with the head of the department. I forgot the woman's name. I wouldn't give it anyway. She was in the finance department. She was just finishing her last question of her that was coming to us next. Soon as she was finished, before they can come to us, I just said, "Excuse me, everybody. I'm so sorry. My stomach is so upset right now. I just have to I'll go to the bathroom to get some air." They were all like, "So take care of yourself. Come back when you feel better." But Steve, like the blood came out of his face. He was pale, like in shock. Like, I'm serious. You know that saying, a deer in the headlights? That was Steve. Anyway, this next color is magenta. You know, from the printers. Nice looking color. So, the deer in the headlights was in shock. And as I'm walking away, I took a look back. He was still staring at me. He looked like he was sweating and mad. So couldn't not just stay out of the meeting. I went and actually was cracking open the mental. So I come back and I came back about 10 minutes later. They were on to another group already. What Steve did was he told them, first of all, I heard he made an idiot out of himself and that he revealed himself to everybody because they thought he knew stuff and they found out that day he didn't. And he actually told them to wait till I come back. So I answered, they congratulated me. Still, I didn't get, I mean, they didn't tell me if I ever found duplicate licenses, I will get a reward. Nobody ever said that. So, but you would just think all the bonuses they give to everybody quarterly. But anyway, no, I'll get mad again. So, did that. And they answered questions. They gave me a round of applause because of the money I got them back from the parent company and blah, 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 whatever. So, this was just around 9/11. And 9/11, I think. I was in training and we had we had a data storage in two World Trade Center at that time, but I was on 42nd Street training, and it was just I told you guys about that. It was a whole nightmare. It was really a nightmare. Because I worked at 4 World Trade Center in the 90s, and now I'm working. I don't want to reveal it because I don't want to give it up. Anyway, this was magenta. The next color is light brown. Excuse me. Anyway, what happens? A week later, I'm sitting at my station because I told you the traders had 8 monitors. They each had 2 computers minimum with 4 monitors on each, right? So 8 monitors. Remember, we're monitoring stuff. So we had something like, I think it was 28 monitors, but my station alone, I had 12. And I'm just sitting here monitoring everything, taking calls. Next thing you know, I forgot who it was. Somebody comes up and says, "Hey, Steve said to go upstairs to the conference room. He needs to see you." And I'm like, "All right, I'm just taking care of something. I'll be." And he's like, "No, but he said you need to go now." Dude, like I'll be right. So the guy walked away. Next thing you know, not a minute later, I see Steve walking up, and he's like, "Dude, come on, let's go." And I'm like, "What's going on?" He goes, "No." When he did that, I knew something was up, obviously, because he wasn't like not even giving me a reason or whatever. I go upstairs, and I see that guy I told you that was the director of IT that didn't know nothing but his brother-in-law got the job. He's sitting at the head of the table. And then these punks that didn't have nothing to do with me, but they work in IT, but they all like in a little clique together, all sitting there. And Steve sits across from me on the other side of the conference table. This is light brown. So, this is gonna get crazy. The next color, and I made this on purpose black because I made this dot by accident before, so I figured I might as well make this black. Oh, so, you see that? You want to play games with me? This pencil? Oh, yeah? You know what? Want to play games with me? I'll just take a marker. I'm sorry, folks, the black looks just like this. Play games with me. Well, I bet you this bled right through. Watch this. Let's take a look at the other side. Okay. So that was blunt. Again, sorry. I'm so sorry for slamming those pencils. The next cover up is another personal favorite of mine. Pink from Slide the Soul. See, can you see this okay? I'm gonna try my best. I'm so sorry. So I'm sitting at the table and I thought the head of IT was gonna speak. And when I looked that way, we have Steve's mouth open. I look across at him and he says, he doesn't even warm it up. He says, we're eliminating your position. And it's funny, they had security there, and you would think I was a violent person, something that like they have security stand. He says we're gonna we're eliminating your position, this and that, and give me some crap reason. Now think about this. They're saying, tell me this is an insult. You're probably your intelligence, right? You'll probably feel offended to what they did to me back then yourself right now. So they're telling me that my position is no longer needed and this and that. Now remember, I was just praised by all the company executives, the board, everything, saving them millions of dollars. And weeks later, I'm getting fired. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense at all? No. So I controlled myself because I was really mad because I knew this was personal. And the bottom line is, this is the thing that was terrible. Well, I'll get to that part in a minute. Let me just finish telling you. This is where it gets bad. So when he says that, I just got stuck for words because I'm still not believing. When I went to respond, he actually went, no, honestly, we don't want to hear it. Just go, please. Just like that. And now, I'll be honest with you, that's the only thing I did that was wrong. I'm supposed to turn in my ID card. I actually flung it at him, and it missed him like that. Flung it at his head, and that's the truth. I flung it hard too. I want to do damage. That was pink. Next up is normal green. Oh, I have them right next to each other. So let me see. Can you see? It does that. They bring me down to HR. And I'll tell you how I got them good. See, what companies do is when they're letting you go and they know that they can probably get sued and all that. They offer you a compensation package because they don't have to give you severance pay and all that, right? Like just like bonuses, they don't have to. But they said they were going to let me keep my health coverage for 6 months. I was eligible for unemployment, and they were also going to give me a severance for 6 months, and also um, $28,000. But to do that, you have to see. Oh wait, can you see which way is the best way for me to do this? I'm so sorry. Let me just turn it this way. I know I don't do this the normal way. Like somebody will keep it like this, and they'll just go in order like that. Let me turn the page because it's uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Anyway, so they offer me all this stuff, and a woman puts like it hands me a pen, like so confident. And I said, "Oh, I'm not signing." She goes, "Ron, are you crazy? You're gonna get so." Says, "With what they just did to me, I know when I sue. You ever hear something called discovery like that? Because they have to. You always have to retain. These corporations retain the document so you can do discovery and do document reviews and all that." When I said, she said, "Can you give me a second?" So, a corporate lawyer came down and I said, "Look. I'm not. I'm not dealing with any of that. I'll see you guys in court because you, meaning I told the general counsel, you know what they did is wrong, and I want to find out what they told you because there's no way I did anything wrong or whatever." So he got mad at that. And he told security escort me into the building. Anything I had there, jacket, everything would be mailed to me. They let me freeze that. Well, it wasn't that cold, but they let me go home like that. It wasn't cold out, so that was just me exaggerating. Anyway, let me see. Next color coming here is wait, what was that? That was green. You know, I'm seeing a little weirdness right now. My eyes are getting blurry on me. I don't know if it's my glasses or it's my eyes. I'm seeing things like those little floaters in my eye. You know what that is, right? So let me finish it real fast. The story and this because I can't keep my eyes like this. This is oh, this is called violet purple. So once I told him to the general counsel, he really PO'd off that. I had them escort me out of the building. Oh, I already told you that. But check this out. And I'll tell you like this. Remember I told you they offered me all that and they offered 20,000. Look what I did. This isn't extortion. This was straight up truth. I found out, no name on this one. I found out how they were able to talk the board, the executives into justifying firing me. That guy Steve, the manager, made up a story that I was spying on users. I put spyware on computers. The only thing is, he told one of his confidants that's what he did, and he set me up. And once he told me that, his confidant ended up quitting because I told him I wanted him to testify if he can't prove it. He refused to. So he quit. It was just a big rap show. But that's what he did. He installed spyware on a couple of machines and linked it to my computer. Remember, he had access to everything. And that's what he did. And he set me up like that. But the witness didn't want to go. Anyway, I lied to him and said, well, this one of the witness said he's going to testify. He'll join my thing, so I'll see you in court. They bumped the 20,000 up to 50. And then I thought about it. Now I'm doing all this without a lawyer. And thought about it. with 6 months no coverage. Because remember, after 9/11, remember all the layoffs and everything? It was so hard to get another job. It was bad out there. This next color is regular red. Well, it's not called regular. This is red. So I knew it was real bad out there. So I'm getting 6 months health coverage, 6 months severance, and they wanted to give me 20,000, but I got 50,000 from them and everything. So I'll be honest with you. I think if I had the money for the kind of lawyers I was going to need, I think I would have passed on the 50 and just said, let's go to court. But I couldn't afford that because if I would have lost, and then they would have probably countersued and sued me for attorney fees and that, and I would have been done. So that was a job. That was the reason I said, I don't want to tell you about the time I got fired for being too good at my job. And that's the truth. I will do a polygraph on that one. But this was red. Next color up is light blue. Well, I'm pressing real hard, that's why it looks dark. It's very hot there. I live in New York City, and if I turn on the air conditioner, it's just gonna really make the background sound bad, and that's not what we want. And it's not gonna have an ambient sound to it. It's just gonna be annoying. So, and again, this is light blue, but I'm pressing really hard, so I'm trying to finish. Yeah, so, but it goes on a little more. So when my buddy called me, again, this was light blue. We have 6 more to go. I'm gonna blow taxi. This is orange. So what happened was I did my life was in shambles after that because I just couldn't get a job. I lost an apartment. I became homeless. And people say, "Oh, Ron, that's a joke. People are homeless for a year." But I was homeless for 4 nights. And that's a story on its own, man. Maybe I'll tell you that another time, but let me tell you. Anyway, that move that this guy did because he was embarrassed that he was couldn't answer questions, decided to do something that actually destroyed my life for the next 4 years. Mhm. And, when things started going downhill, that guy that told me what he had done, like the witness. You know what, folks? I'm sorry this video is in this way. We learn on our mistakes, right? What I did was, when I was moving the pencil, I must hit the pause on the space bar, which stopped the recording. Which means my lesson should be from now on, make sure you highlight something else. So stop recording when something's not active and pay attention. So basically, I looked at the video. I just finished in this one. and I went on to talk for a couple of minutes there. I think where I left off, I was telling you that I was homeless for 4 nights and my life was in shambles. But you didn't really miss any of the story about the guy Steve and everything. And as a matter of fact, and I really apologize about that. I'm making mistakes and I'm really tired. My eyes are worried, but still my fault. You got the whole story about Steve thing. The next time, I'll see how I feel. But I'm gonna go into that homeless thing a little bit. I want to try to figure out, to make it sound gloomy and everything. But thank you for hanging in there with me. These are the colors, and those are the colors right there. Thank you for listening to me, and I appreciate you. I really, really do. I say it every time because I mean it. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you to everybody that comments. Thank you. A fellow IT, she was awesome. We were going back and forth, but anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, enjoy the rest of your weekend.